Hey, Goro. Is it true that there is no tipping in Japan? The restaurant waiter provides top service and doesn't even earn an extra coin?
Well, Ryu, there is no custom of tipping in Japan, because service there is based on omotenashi.
What is omotenashi?
Omotenashi can be translated as genuine hospitality, that is, from the bottom of the heart. The idea is that the person is already giving their best, without expecting anything in return.
Like, when my grandmother makes those fancy obentos for me, she always says that her greatest happiness is seeing my face when I open the lunchbox.
Exactly, with omotenashi, service is a way of showing respect and care, and the reward is in the satisfaction of seeing the person well served. If you try to tip, it may even make the attendant feel a little embarrassed, as if he owes you something more.
So, the customer feels important because they know that the service wasn't for extra money?
Exactly, and it also guarantees that everyone receives the same type of service, regardless of tip.
Cool. And where does omotenashi come from?
The origin of omotenashi comes from very ancient Japanese traditions, mainly linked to Buddhism, which talks about compassion and respect for others. The idea is that the host or attendant is totally focused on the moment, offering the best, without expecting anything in return.
I understand, but what about omotenashi in other Buddhist countries? Wasn't everything supposed to be similar?
Good question, Ryu. In fact, omotenashi is a mixture of Buddhism, Shintoism and Confucianism that shaped the culture in a very unique way. Shintoism, for example, highly values harmony and respect for nature and people, and then, Buddhism came together with these ideas, creating a super detailed sense of hospitality in Japan.
So, was it this mix that helped create this very particular way of Japanese hospitality?
That's right, and then there's kata, which is the idea that all things have a correct way of being done, whether in a tea ceremony, a martial art or even customer service. Kata shaped the Japanese with the concern to pay close attention to every detail in everything they do.
Wow, I thought hospitality was just being nice to people, but apparently in Japan it became a complete philosophy.
Yes, Ryu, and you know what else? You can make a good parallel between omotenashi and the hospitality of people in cities in the countryside of Brazil.
Is there omotenashi in Brazil?
Yes, as I said, in Japan omotenashi is linked to a whole philosophy of attention to detail and anticipating the needs of others, as if each gesture were part of a ritual called kata. In the countryside of Brazil, hospitality is often simple and spontaneous but equally sincere. People make a point of welcoming others, offering the best, be it a fresh coffee, a piece of cake, or even opening the doors of their homes to guests.
Oh, it's true. My friends' mothers always offer me something when I go to their house.
Yes, both forms of hospitality value the well-being of others, but omotenashi follows a more formal and detailed pattern, while Brazilian hospitality has a touch of human warmth and improvisation, which is more spontaneous and less ritualistic. In both cultures, visitors feel welcome and cared for, and that's what makes the experiences so remarkable. Just like in Japan, where customer or guest satisfaction is the priority, in the countryside of Brazil, the host's pleasure lies in seeing the visitor happy, without expecting anything in return.
So, this Brazilian hospitality is a bit similar of Japanese omotenashi, right?
Yes, Ryu, this gesture of generosity is more than a habit. It reflects a sense of community and empathy, regardless of the amount of resources the person has.
Once even a homeless person asked me, "Would you like some?" while eating a lunchbox, which he had just received. Of course I didn't accept it because I knew he needed that food more than I did, but it was touching. Even though he didn't have much, he wanted to share his lunch with me.
How cool, Ryu. Of course it is just a small formality, but it is also a type of kata in a natural way. I think we can call this a Brazilian-style mini omotenashi, because it comes from the wish to include others, to show that they matter. Therefore the phrase, "Would you like some?" is a direct and spontaneous form of hospitality that shows care and welcome.
Yes, I understand.
In the same way that omotenashi was born from the combination of Buddhism, Shintoism and Confucianism, the custom of saying, "Would you like some?" in Brazil may have emerged from the fusion of Christianity with African and indigenous traditions. These cultures greatly value generosity within the community, creating this special habit of sharing with simplicity and spontaneity, which shows Brazilian human warmth.
Wow, so every time we practice a little omotenashi sincerely and from the bottom of our hearts, whether here or in Japan, the world can be a little gentle, right?
That's perfect, Ryu.